Every year in the United States, thousands of divorced women make a decision that quietly costs them retirement income, hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. And almost none of them realize it at the time. It doesn't happen in a courtroom. It doesn't happen during the divorce. It happens later when life begins again. A new relationship forms. Trust slowly returns. And eventually a simple question appears. Should we get married? For many women over 50, that moment feels like a new chapter, beginning after divorce and starting life again. But hidden inside the Social Security system is a rule that most people never hear about. A rule that can quietly cancel survivor benefits worth $2,000, sometimes even $3,000 monthly. Over the course of retirement, that difference can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost lifetime income. And the most dangerous part is this: most women only discover this rule after the decision has been made. Today, we explain what financial planners call the remarriage trap and why one age rule determines benefit eligibility. Divorce is usually described as an emotional turning point, but financially, it is also something else entirely. A structural reset. Household income changes. Assets are divided. Retirement plans often must be rebuilt again from the ground up. This is where Social Security becomes critically important for many people rebuilding financial stability after divorce later. According to Social Security Administration data, many American retirees rely on Social Security as their largest guaranteed lifetime income source. For divorced women, the reliance can be even greater than average retirement households in the United States. Research in retirement economics shows Social Security often provides more than half of retirement income for single retired women. That means the rules governing Social Security are not minor technical details in financial planning decisions later. Instead, they are foundational to long-term financial security and retirement stability for millions of Americans. One of the most misunderstood parts of this system involves benefits connected to a former spouse's work record. Because after divorce, the financial connection to a former marriage does not always disappear completely. In some cases, that connection continues quietly inside the Social Security system long after the marriage ends. Under U.S. Social Security law, a divorced spouse may still claim benefits based on their former spouse's earnings record. But there is one critical requirement. The marriage must have lasted at least 10 years. Not 9 years. Not 9 years and 11 months. 10 full years are required under the rule. This threshold exists because retirement policy recognizes an important economic reality within long-term marriages and households. Long-term marriages often involve shared financial development built gradually through years of cooperation between spouses. Over time, one partner may reduce workforce participation to support family responsibilities and raise children or relocate. Sometimes relocation happens because of the other partner's career opportunities and financial advancement. In other words, even if only one spouse earned the paycheck, the household's economic progress was often shared. Because of this, the Social Security system allows eligible divorced spouses to claim a divorced spouse benefit. At full retirement age, that benefit may equal up to 50% of the former spouse's benefit. There is also an important detail many people misunderstand about this rule. Claiming this benefit does not reduce the former spouse's payment under Social Security rules. The Social Security Administration simply calculates the divorced spouse benefit separately within its payment system. For many divorced women, this rule can create a meaningful additional source of retirement income. Sometimes this additional income amounts to thousands of dollars each year in extra financial security. However, this benefit structure is only part of the broader story inside the Social Security system. Because once remarriage enters the picture, the rules governing these benefits begin to change. And that is where the real complexity inside Social Security benefit planning begins for many divorced individuals. One of the most valuable features of the Social Security system is the survivor benefit available to spouses. If a spouse passes away, The surviving spouse may receive up to 100% of the benefit. Importantly, this rule can also apply to eligible divorced spouses whose marriages lasted at least 10 years. From a financial planning perspective, survivor benefits function as a form of long-term income protection. Consider a simple example involving a former spouse and Social Security survivor benefits. It's important to understand the details. If a former spouse receives $2,800 monthly Social Security benefits, an eligible survivor may receive similar payments. Over a retirement period of 20 years, that income stream could represent well over $500,000. For this reason, survivor benefits are often described in retirement planning literature as powerful, guaranteed lifetime income. However, eligibility for survivor benefits connected to a former spouse can change after remarriage occurs. And that is where many people unknowingly make a costly financial decision affecting their retirement income. According to Social Security rules, a divorced individual who remarries before age 60 generally loses survivor benefit eligibility. Those benefits would otherwise be claimed based on the former spouse's Social Security earnings record. Financial planners often refer to this situation as the remarriage trap inside Social Security planning discussions. Because the decision to remarry is usually emotional rather than financial or strategic. A new relationship begins. A fresh start appears. A second chapter of life seems possible. But institutional systems like Social Security operate according to fixed legal rules written decades earlier. Sometimes those rules intersect with personal life decisions in ways people never expect. In this case, the consequence of remarriage timing can be financially significant. A remarriage at the wrong time may permanently eliminate access to a survivor benefit income stream. That stream might have been worth thousands of dollars per month throughout retirement years. The difficult reality is that most people learn about this rule only after remarriage already happened. Age 60 is a critical threshold in the Social Security system, affecting remarriage and survivor benefit eligibility decisions. If remarriage occurs after age 60, the rules often change for divorced individuals within the Social Security system. In many situations, a divorced individual may remain eligible for survivor benefits connected to the former spouse's record. This small difference in timing can produce dramatic financial consequences over the course of retirement. Imagine two divorced women with identical life circumstances and financial histories before making remarriage decisions. Both women were married for 15 years, and both former spouses built strong Social Security earnings records. The first woman remarries at age 58. At that time, she is still rebuilding her life after divorce. The other woman chooses to wait and remarry at age 60 instead. Only 2 years separate these decisions, yet the financial outcomes may become dramatically different. The woman who remarried earlier may permanently lose access to survivor benefits tied to the former spouse. The woman who waited may still retain that option under Social Security survivor benefit rules. Over the course of retirement, this difference in eligibility may translate into hundreds of thousands in lifetime income. In some cases, the total lifetime difference can exceed $500,000 in retirement benefits. There are several reasons that this Social Security rule remains largely unknown to many people approaching retirement. First, the Social Security system itself is extremely complex for most people to fully understand. Many individuals only begin studying Social Security rules shortly before retirement, when decisions must already be made. Second, divorce and remarriage decisions are often driven by emotional factors rather than careful financial analysis. Third, financial planning conversations frequently happen too late after important life decisions have already been made. As a result, many individuals unknowingly give up valuable financial options that could have supported them throughout retirement. Financial planners typically recommend 3 practical steps for divorced individuals who are considering remarriage later in life. First, confirm the duration of the previous marriage, because the 10-year rule determines eligibility. That 10-year rule determines eligibility for divorced spouse benefits within the Social Security system. Second, review Social Security benefit projections using the Social Security Administration's official online planning tools. Creating a My Social Security account and reviewing benefit estimates helps clarify the potential financial stakes. Third, evaluate the timing of remarriage decisions carefully before making any final commitments. In some situations, delaying remarriage until after the age threshold can preserve important financial options. This does not mean avoiding relationships or refusing to move forward with life. It simply means making major life decisions with full financial information available. When the financial implications are significant, consulting a qualified financial planner or Social Security specialist can help. Professional advice can help ensure that important benefits are not unintentionally lost because of timing decisions. Remarriage after divorce is often one of the most hopeful moments in a person's life. It represents renewal, trust, and the possibility of building a new future after a difficult chapter. But retirement systems operate according to rules that were written decades ago. Understanding those rules allows individuals to navigate the financial system more intelligently. Financial independence in later life is rarely the result of a single dramatic decision. More often, it comes from understanding small financial details that most people tend to overlook. Sometimes one of those important details can be surprisingly simple. The real question is not whether someone chooses to remarry later in life. The real question is when that remarriage decision happens. If this video helped you understand the financial side of life after divorce, consider subscribing to the channel. Here at Gray Divorce Guide, we explain Social Security rules, retirement strategies, and financial protections women over 50 should understand. Because the best financial decisions are rarely made during moments of crisis or pressure. Instead, the best financial decisions are made with knowledge before the critical moment arrives. In upcoming videos, we will explain other Social Security rules and financial traps many divorced women never hear about.